Hello, Betty Crosby here. I don't think there is anything more frightening to um, people, to working class people, particularly to consumers in general, than the concept of a runaway inflation. Um, so far, our inflation has been ordinary inflation, except that now it seems to be getting a little hypered, so that instead of going from month to month, gradually seeing a little rise here and there, it's almost weekly that you're noticing at the grocery store and at the gas pump. Things are volatile. Now, the powers that be are beginning to take the tack that if you complain too much about inflation, maybe you're not being as patriotic as you should be. That to say that the gas is getting so expensive that a lot of people don't know how they're going to manage with it. Uh, to be ashamed with, you should be grateful because when you fill up your tank with gasoline and the price seems to be a week's groceries, you you're if you complain, it's then you're not doing what you're supposed to do, which is to say, well, this is sticking it to Putin. This makes it a class war because the vast majority of people now can't really afford to stick it to Putin. They're trying to put groceries on the table. They're trying to pay their rent. They're trying to get somebody to take care of the kids without uh, uh, having to do without dinner for a couple of nights, that kind of thing. Um, so it's a class war. And this class war has been going on um, ever since, well, I would say 2008 is becoming more and more apparent as the economies start meshing in uh, ways that are hard to discern, except that a few people seem to be getting the vast majority of the goodies of uh, the economic system, and the vast majority are increasingly trying to struggle through it. Um, and the people who are buying big houses are taking on debt that in the future may be a little hard to manage. But we'll see. We'll see. Because this class war also extends to how the financial world is handling um, the war in Ukraine, and go ahead and call it a war. That's what it seems like to me. Um, because again, um, the cost of the war is not exactly shared as it should be. The the Western world, and particularly the governmental elites in Europe and in the United States and Canada, uh, want they talk like some of them that they may want war, but others no. And I don't think really um, a World War III would be a solution to anything, but to get rid of the vast majority of the people on Earth. Uh, well, the rich, I guess, well, the super rich, the Klaus Schwabs of the world will be hunkering down in their atomic bunkers, atomic proof bunkers, and um, they'll be fine. The rest of us will be rubble. But I don't think that's going to happen. Number one, because who would do all of their dirty work? Maybe they have enough robots to do that. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that some robots have been perfected to where they could really help in fighting a war because they're bulletproof and assumedly it can't be damaged in any way that would hurt them severely. So maybe it will be a robotic future life on Earth, if it could be called life. Anyway, the class war rages on, and and in a sense, Russia has assumed the role of excuse me, a working class person in a world of middle class people or upper class people, in that they can't have anything. They've got all of these things put upon them that prevent them from spying or selling anything outside their own country. The tariffs and the sanctions and the now the ruble is next to worthless in terms of international trade. Well, it hasn't crashed completely, but again, hanging on by a thread maybe. But they have a sense of humor that I find very ironic in a evil kind of way. They've let it be known. This was announced by Al Jazeera on March the 8th. That Russia would now pay all of its external debts in rubles. Well, you know, they've been shut down, they've been locked out, they've been frozen, they have nothing left in terms of monetary exchange, except their goods. Now they have a lot of goods. They have oil, they have natural gas, they have fertilizer, they have all the goodies that are made out of crude after the gasoline is made. And then they do have natural substances like the good earth conglomeration of minerals that the rest of the world seems to be in dire need of. So if they can maintain their policy of taking care of their people first, and where their people don't fear hunger because they have lots of fertilizer and the rest of the world doesn't, and wants their fertilizer, whether they'll get any or not, one way or the other, we'll see. But that this fertilizer is what grows all these great big crops in Russia. Russia's kind of the breadbasket of a large part of the world. In fact, Russia and Ukraine were the biggest sellers of wheat in the world until, recent events. So I think the United States and the European Union and England should all take a second look at Russia and understand that Russia's not going anywhere. Now, Putin is not going to be replaced by one of their puppets like so many of these other countries have been. Putin is not going to be replaced by anybody until he dies of natural causes. So I wish the United States, and I wish Canada, and I wish the European Union would take the view that instead of wasting all of these lives and all of these materials and weapons and on Ukraine and against the people of Ukraine. That's the only thing you can say about this. It is against the people of Ukraine, both from Russia and from the Ukrainians and the United Nations and the U.S. and Canada, because we know how it's going to end. If it doesn't end in World War III, and I do not believe it's going to end in World War III, and if it doesn't, then this has been a terrible waste of the Ukrainian people to encourage them and fighting to the last man and thinking that in some way this is going to move the United Nations to allow them into NATO so that they can help bomb Russia. You know, that is not going to happen. And it makes me sad. And I know it does a lot of other people too. Next time, let's talk about something different, okay? Thank you. Goodbye.